Hi everybody, it's Mayor Patricia Lock-Dawson, and I'm here at Hangar 18, a climbing gym here in Riverside, and I'm learning the ropes about how to climb. Hi everybody, it's Mayor Patricia Lock-Dawson, and I am with, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ari Mendoza. I'm the general manager for Hangar 18, just kind of oversee all the gyms and stuff. And yes, today we are at our Riverside location, which has all kinds of climbing to offer. We have stuff from top roping, which is all these ropes around. We have bouldering, which is right behind you guys, and then we have lead as well. So it's just all kinds of fun at this location.
So tell me why you guys chose Riverside. Of all the cities, why does Riverside get to have a Hangar 18?
Right, I know. So Riverside actually is a great location to have a climbing gym because the community that's already established in Riverside. So you guys have a lot of arts, you have a lot of, like, in this area specifically, there's a lot of industries, there's colleges, and there's downtown that's not too far from here. So there's just kind of the right environment to have a climbing gym. And one of my favorite things about climbing is that we have all walks of life come in here. So it's really cool to be able to pull from like colleges and stuff like that and the nearby areas to have in our gym. It basically helps cultivate the community that we have here.
You mentioned a couple terms, and I guess why don't we just go maybe look and see what we got. We've got top ropes.
Yes.
And why don't you talk to us a little bit about what we have,
So,
and we can walk around and look at stuff.
Yeah, of course. We have top roping. So this gym specifically has like 27 ropes. We're one of the gyms that has the most. And with top roping, you basically have two people that do it. So one of them will be tied into the rope. The other one will be tied into the bolero rope. And basically when you're on the one with the 8, it's called a figure 8, you get to climb. And when you're in the opposite rope, you're the one that's basically taking in the slack the whole time. So you're working together with your partner to kind of get them up the wall. And you're just having that open communication the whole time. So it's really great to like do team bonding exercises. A lot of times we get couples that do it on like their first dates and stuff, which is always hilarious because you get to see them interact and stuff. And it's pretty great. We also have what's called lead climbing. So if you look around, there's a bunch of clips. They're called quick draws and stuff. And so when you go up, it's basically combining a free climbing with the rope. So you will climb up, and as you go up, you attach yourself to the clips with your rope. It's really, really cool. It's one of my favorites because it combines what I think is like bouldering, the free climbing with the ropes. I like to be a little bit higher. It kind of gives you a certain headspace and you have to really focus. So it's really awesome. And then if we go this way, we have the bouldering section. We have a bouldering island here. And so there's a lot of different angles and stuff. And with the bouldering, you basically climb by yourself essentially. So it's just you and the wall. So there is nothing attached to you. You just kind of have your climbing shoes and you go up and do your thing. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely, like I was saying up there, where you get high, you have a lot of headspace. On this, you have to really be aware of kind of what you're doing. And we have this gentleman bouldering right now, and it's super cool because, I mean, look at him. He does it with no problem whatsoever.
So I haven't climbed in a while, but I used to climb with my husband when we were younger. But you've got, you know, your different routes and your different difficulty by your by the numbers, right? And
yes.
So maybe tell folks a little bit about that.
Yeah.
too.
So with the bouldering, we're on a V scale. So the V is always going to be in the front of the number, and so basically, the smaller the number, the easier the climb. The higher the number, the harder the climb. So the tag will be at the start of the climb. So if you look at this green one right here, it's a V3. That just kind of means it's getting more towards the intermediate section. Usually V0s to V2 are kind of like your beginner climbs. So whenever we have new people in, like, we kind of guide them towards those so that they can get a little more confident, get warmed up and stuff. And it can go all the way up to V10, V10 and above really. But at the gym, I feel like we only go up to about V10 maybe. Sometimes you'll see like a V11, but yeah. So the higher the number, the harder it is. It definitely gets more difficult with the holds, with the type of movement that the climbing has. And then on the rope side, we have it on the Yosemite scale. So that would be 5 points a number. So kind of the same thing. The smaller the number, the easier the climb. The higher the number, the harder the climb. Same type of difficulty too. Like obviously the climbs are gonna get a little more difficult. You're gonna get more angles. You're gonna get smaller holds, bigger movements. But yeah, it's it's a lot of fun regardless. It's really cool.
I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, I just want to get in there. Get on the, because I know this one is really tough. I mean, these are like tiny little finger holds.
Yeah.
I don't even see how you could even pull yourself up there.
I know. These are what you would call crimps, and so they're very, very tiny. You kind of have to build your hand strength to get there.
Yeah.
We usually have beginners start off with something more like, where it's these type of holds where they're a little bit bigger. We call them jugs. They're
Like
just
this.
a little more, so you can like get a full
really
grasp
grab
on it.
it.
Yeah. We should get you in a harness. We should get you to climb.
Oh, I know. I was like thinking, this is not really a good climbing outfit. It's crazy. You have a ton of people in here. It's the middle of the afternoon on a weekday, and it's incredibly crowded here. All ages. I'm seeing lots of different people here. All different body types, all different levels of strength, all different levels of expertise. So how do you help people learn to climb? Do you have classes? Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, during COVID and stuff, one of the things that we implemented that we were going to stop doing classes and lessons like that just to kind of get people not to be super close to each other, but we are doing classes now again.
Okay.
So we're offering our intro classes now, which gives you basically the basis of how to climb. So depending on what you want to do, if you want to boulder, we have an intro to bouldering class that will teach you how the grading works, how to fall properly, which is very important, how the climbs themselves work, how to stick to the colors and stuff like that. And then for the top rope, those lessons are a little more involved. They take a little bit longer because there's a lot of information. But yeah, we're offering those too, and they're so much fun because, like I said, it's like a team bonding exercise that they do. So it's really, really cool to see new people try that because then you get them excited about it. And that's one of our biggest things. Like when people are new to it, climbing is fun, but it's very intimidating. So it's very important for us to have staff kind of establish that welcoming environment and like aura and everything like that. It's really important for us because we want you to get excited about climbing. So it's really cool to be able to teach people how to do stuff again. We have a lot of usuals, which is the coolest part too, but one of my favorite things, like I said earlier, we have lots of walks of life, and you mentioned like different body shapes and stuff like that, and different like heights and stuff, and it's really cool that we can have such like well-rounded community, and they're still enjoying the climbing. Like and people will start off not really being super strong, but then like a few months later, you get to see that growth, and you were proud of that too, because we encourage them, and like members encourage them, so it's super fun.
I just watching all the people do it now. There's a bunch of different types of people out on the on the holds, so that's very cool.
It's so much fun. So actually too, on this side's only top rope and auto belay. So the auto belays are pretty cool too because you get to do them by yourself. So if you look at this side, this gentleman over here he's belaying the young gentleman on the wall, but the younger girl, she's on the auto belay. And so the auto belays you can do by yourself, which are really cool because you don't need a partner, but you still kind of get the same height, the same like skill set, and then you can just come down like that by yourself. So it's very popular with the kiddies, but it's also a lot of fun. Honestly, as an adult myself, I will do laps on the auto belays to kind of help me warm up for the bouldering. So there's multiple uses to the auto belays and stuff, and they're just kind of fun.
So this is all top rope in here?
Yeah, this whole side is top rope only, which is a lot of fun. I mean, again, we have 27 ropes, but the other side is ropes and lead, so it gives them that whole space so that they don't have to worry about so many top rope people, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
There's a wall over there of various holds. Do you want to show us that?
Yes. So this right here, this is one of our campus boards. It's more used for like training and stuff. So right here you have a hangboard. And so basically for hangboarding, we don't always recommend new people do it right away just because it's more of like getting your hands trained and like getting your strength going and stuff. But it is a very useful tool because then the stronger your hands are, the easier it'll be to like hold on to these small crimps and stuff like that. So it just helps a lot. And the campus board training is just kind of getting your power going. So a lot of people will go from like the first campus rung to like 5 or 7, and so it's just a lot of practicing like those big explosion movements and stuff like that. And also the different types of grips too. So it's a lot of training stuff. If we go through this room, watch your step. It's a lot cooler in here too, which is nice.
So where are we here? What is going on up here?
This is our fitness room. So one of the things that we offer at this facility, again, because of COVID, we've stopped a lot of things, but we have yoga in this section. It's a pretty big open space, but we also have a whole fitness room. So we have like squat racks, we have row machines, we have free weights. There's like a little bicycle over there. Like there's just all kinds of stuff because with climbing, yes, you can just climb and that'll be enough. But sometimes when you're at the higher levels, you want to kind of get shoulder strength or like work on certain like body movements. The yoga, for me personally, I love doing yoga, and I feel like yoga and climbing go hand in hand. So I'm happy that we have a space to provide those extra, you know, curricular activities that go in hand with climbing. So it's really cool.
Flexibility is very key.
Yes, definitely.
Strength and flexibility.
Yeah, especially when you're a shorter person. Like you can either be very dynamic, which I am not, or you can figure out how to do the splits to get to a different hold, which is what ends up happening. But
yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
it's super cool.
All right. Well, thanks for letting us come be part of your day today.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I got to come back with the right clothes on.
Please do. Yeah, come in and I'll show. If you need a refresher or anything, I'll be more than happy to show you how to climb. We can climb together. It's super cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, of course.